Hey guys, welcome everybody to another one of my videos. Today's video, this one is going to be about this is my Survivor Series preview video. We're going to go over the SummerSlam Survivor Series preview, Survivor Series maybe predictions we'll go over, and I'm going to run down the card, especially the main event. We'll talk about the storyline of the main event of Survivor Series and also what I would have done differently. Again, these are my opinions, so let's get right into it. Survivor Series, you know what, I kind of like the Survivor Series. I've always liked, I don't want to talk about this Survivor Series, it hasn't happened yet. Survivor Series as a whole, I've always loved Survivor Series, and I've always liked the concept of the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match. I've always thought it was a good idea. I mean, I like it. I kind of miss the old Survivor Series, because if you guys would have watched, and when I mean old, I mean like the first, like all from like the 90s. I think it started like in 87. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it started in 1987. And it's kind of evolved, but I liked it back when it started, because all the matches were all 5-on-5, and we've seen some great traditional Survivor Series matches, you know. I like it. Sometimes you could get 5-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-2. You know, they're just really fun, especially if you like tag team wrestling. You know, in tag team wrestling, you know, especially in the 80s, was really big. Tag team wrestling was, I've always liked tag team wrestling. So, Survivor Series is really fun. Now, these days in modern day, we only get one traditional one or two traditional Survivor Series. Now in this one, Survivor Series 2014 is what I'm going to be previewing, and we get two traditional Survivor Series matches. And let's start from the top of the card. Let's talk about the main event, which is a traditional Survivor Series match. It's John Cena, no big surprise, Dolph Ziggler, Big Show, Eric Rowan, and Ryback taking on Seth Rollins, Kane, Rusev, Mark Henry, and Luke Harper. Let's talk about the storyline before we go into the match. The storyline started off really dumb, I think. I mean, I really like this storyline. I'll be more specific what I'm talking about here. The storyline I really like. I mean, the storyline, what they're doing right now. Well, we'll go into what the actual storyline is. Then we'll go about how I would have wrote the storyline differently. If they had some intelligent writers, they would have came up with this on their own. This whole match started with the Authority coming out with John Cena and saying, hey, you know, I think this was like right after a Hell in a Cell, saying, oh, congratulations, you're a #1 contender. You'll notice life is much better if you join the Authority. And they said, why don't you join Team Authority for the Survivor Series? This is how it got started. And you know, John Cena says, no, hell no, you know, that's not going to happen. You're against everything I stand for, and so on and so on. And then the Authority's like, well, if you're not with us, you're against us. And then that's what started Team Authority against Team John Cena. And the storyline has been the Authority pretty much bashing everyone that John Cena wants to join the team. Mostly it seemed like they've been singling out Dolph Ziggler. Sheamus at one point was on the team. That didn't happen. You guys could watch my Raw videos on more of those in depth, but that's how it all got started. Now here's what I would have did. Now if you think about it, then then a couple weeks later, and also about this match, a couple weeks later, then you had Vince McMahon came out and said, let's make this match more interesting. If the Authority loses this match, then the Authority ceases to be the Authority. So that brings us now to today. So pretty much going in the Survivor Series, I find it really really interesting. At the same time, they could have, like, I'm into this pay-per-view. I'm invested into it. I like it. You know, they got me into it. But if they really wanted to sink viewers and really get you guys into this pay-per-view 100%, you know what would have made this storyline better? Is going back to when this match started, when the Authority approached John Cena about joining the Authority. Wouldn't it have been better if they would have said, if John Cena said no, and the Authority's like, okay, fine, it's our team against your team. But to show that we get what we want as the Authority, if you lose this match, you join the Authority. You don't have a choice, okay? The Authority gets what we want no matter what. So you're saying you don't want to join the Authority, John Cena? Well, if your team loses, you join anyways because we get what we want. Then you would have had Vince McMahon came out a couple weeks later and says, hey, let's make this even more interesting. Let's say if you guys lose, then you guys cease to be Authority, which already existed. Because right now I feel it's real one-sided. I feel like they're just looking for the future because we already know the rumors going into WrestleMania that it's going to be a power struggle between the Authority and Vince McMahon. So this is their way of starting that storyline. But for this pay-per-view, a Survivor Series, I feel like it's really one-sided. So if John Cena loses, there's nothing on the line. Make the buyers of this pay-per-view or the people that have the network, maybe that's why they don't care anymore because they don't have to worry about pay-per-view buys anymore. Why don't you just have it more interesting? More interesting where both sides have something to lose. You're either going to see John Cena being forced to go to the Authority against his will and do whatever the Authority wants and be their henchmen, whether John Cena likes it or not, or you'll have the Authority losing power, which I guarantee this storyline is going to be starting. This is going to be the tip of the iceberg. That's going to be the main story of WrestleMania. Because I've heard that rumor on many websites, WrestleZone, Wrestle Observer, all those websites are saying the same thing, that this is going to start the big beef going in the WrestleMania. So it's going to be interesting. And as the outcome of the match, I see this going either way. You know, I'm pretty sure John Cena's team is going to win and the Authority losing power and you're having some sort of power struggle happening and Triple H and Stephanie trying to attack Vince McMahon because they're not in power. Something like that happening. And you know another funny thing I could see happening if John Cena wins? You know, I've heard rumors for a long time now that Stone Cold Steve Austin was coming back. Not wrestling. He says he does not want to wrestle. I thought maybe Austin could represent Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, since that's the storyline I've been hearing they want to do. Vince McMahon having his wrestler represent Vince taking on Triple H, representing an Authority, and having Triple H and Austin. That was supposed to happen last year. I hear Austin didn't want to do it this year. Supposed to be The Rock. Supposed to be Rock and Austin. I mean, not Rock and Austin. Sorry, Triple H and The Rock. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. Triple H and The Rock. For control of WWE, you know, if The Rock wins, it goes back to Vince, something like that. But you know what would be funny is, like I was saying, I heard Stone Cold Steve Austin is signing a contract. Wouldn't it be kind of fun? I don't know if WWE has the smarts right now and the writing capability, but wouldn't it be great if John Cena won, Authority's out of power? What are we going to see right now? Let's bring Stone Cold Steve Austin back as some sort of, don't do a stupid thing like he did in 2003 when he's the sheriff. You know, have him be like, the interim COO or, you know, taking over Triple H's spot. You know, wouldn't that be kind of funny? You know, him drinking beer and doing his gimmick, or commissioner or whatever they want to do, general manager, whatever Authority role, and see how that happens. And then, you know, Austin could bring in The Rock, Austin and McMahon, but that would be kind of weird to see Austin and McMahon mingle and be friends. But, you know, there's so many ways they can do this. There's so many fun ways Survivor Series can go at the end, at the outcome. But then again, you know, I think my fantasy booking was better for Survivor Series, and that's what we're talking about here is Survivor Series. I think it would have been better if both sides had something to lose. But anyways, that's what I think about that. Also in the main event, I'm really looking forward to seeing Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, the two Wyatt guys, against each other. I kind of like how they did that. You know, you kind of they've been building up Luke Harper, been showing a lot of promo videos on Luke Harper. You kind of forgot about Eric Rowan. And then at the end, you know, when John Cena still needs another guy to join his team, here comes Eric Rowan, you know, with his little mask, his little goat mask or whatever, and takes it off and stares right at Luke Harper, and you see Luke Harper look with those little beady eyes of his, you know. That was beautiful. That was great. Anyway, so let's move on the pay-per-view. You have AJ Lee for the women's title, the Divas title, against Nikki Bella. This match, you know, you never know what they're going to do with the Divas division. It would be kind of nice to see Nikki Bella win. I say that because, I mean, AJ, we've seen her as a champion a long time. She's going to go down as one of the greatest champions of all time. Plus, I heard her contract is ending soon right now. I don't know when it's up, but this may be a good way to bring her out. And I hear they want to reunite the Bellas again. So I can see Brie Bella turning heel in this, you know, and betraying, well, not betraying because she has no association to AJ, but like costing AJ the match and turning heel with her sister. You know, that would be nice. I don't know if they'll do that, but I heard that they want to reunite the Bellas by time the new season of Total Divas start. You know, they want to be done with that storyline because, I mean, let's just face it, that whole Brie Nikki turning heel and all that on Brie was to promote Total Divas for one and get out of that storyline with Stephanie McMahon and give them out something to do, you know. And they're done with that. They're not going to have the two sisters go against each other for very long. It's not drawing money. It's done now. That storyline's done. This is a good way to segue out of that. So I could see them do that. And if they're smart, that's what I would do. I would have Brie Bella cost AJ Lee the title and reunite the Bellas. Let's see if they're gonna do that, but that's what I would do. But then again, I could see them doing lazy writing too and having AJ just win by some classic finish. You know, some ordinary, whatever her finishing move is, winning that way too. But come on, WWE, let's have a title change. Let's reunite the Bellas and let's just move on with that whole stupid Bellas against Bella storyline. Then, okay, moving on, we got Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. I love this match. I really do. You got the two crazy motherfuckers here, man. I love it. Dean Ambrose, crazy as shit. Bray Wyatt, the future of WWE. I love this guy. You know, and a quick little thing about Bray Wyatt is Bray Wyatt's heritage. Maybe, I don't know if all you guys know everything about Bray Wyatt, but real quick, you know who this guy's family is so tied into wrestling? Real quick, you know who his brother is? His brother is, believe it or not, Bo Dallas. His brother is Bo Dallas, and you want to know something funny? You know who their father is? Their father is the IRS, R Shyster. You know, it was funny. I looked that up. I think it was I looked that up online or something on the Wikipedia or something, and I saw that the R Shyster is their father, and you know he actually works backstage sometimes, and they actually all travel together. Him, Bray Wyatt, and Bo Dallas. So I thought that was very interesting, and even more so is their uncle. I never knew this either. Bray Wyatt's uncle is Barry Windham. Barry Windham, for those of you who don't know that, who are just new wrestling fans, one of the members of the Four Horsemen. So, quite a big talent pool there. But anyways, Bray Wyatt. Oh, and not to mention, those of you who do not know, Bray Wyatt also had a different gimmick a few years back, way back when. He was known as Husky Harris. Horrible gimmick. Boy, he has come a long way since Husky Harris, Bray Wyatt. He's became by far one of my favorite modern day wrestlers, Bray Wyatt. Just an absolute great, just great on the mic. Great wrestler too. Great flexibility with his little spider crawl. Just great wrestler. You know, he is, in my opinion, today's Undertaker. I mean, yeah, there could only be one Undertaker, you know. Just like I think there could only be one Bray Wyatt. But I think Bray Wyatt's going to be like what the Undertaker was back then, you know. I mean, you know, he's going to be like the dark figure, you know, with the mysterious storylines and the crazy storylines. And the thing about it is, you know, a friend of mine was just asking me last night. He was telling me, hey, I don't get why Bray Wyatt and the Dean Ambrose rivalry is happening. Why didn't he attack him? Well, that's the thing when you have rivalries with Bray Wyatt. You don't need a reasoning for Bray Wyatt to attack somebody. He's so crazy. He's so screwed up in the head. A different crazy as Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose's gimmick is just crazy. Bray Wyatt is a different kind of crazy, and he doesn't need a reason to do something. Okay, and in his way, he's saving people. He has this weird gimmick. He did it because he wants to save Dean Ambrose. And I think it's going to be a great match. Both guys can work too. I mean, Bray Wyatt's a big guy, but he can work his ass off, and he could give you a good match. And Dean Ambrose has proved that he could give a good match. So this is going to be a great wrestling match. I see Bray Wyatt winning this match to keep the rivalry going on a little bit longer. I'll be very surprised if Dean Ambrose wins and that's the end of the rivalry. I highly doubt that's going to happen. I see Bray Wyatt winning this match, or maybe some other weird type of finish, maybe a no finish at all. I see something like that happening. Moving on, we have a Fatal 4-Way match for the tag team titles. 4 teams. The Miz and Damien Sandow taking on Goldust and Stardust, taking on Los Matadores, taking on the Usos. First of all, I don't understand why, we have to say Goldust and Stardust. Why not give these guys a tag team name? I mean, they've been a tag team for a long time. Why not call them Dust to Dust or something, Figure out some sort of tag team name for them. Anyways, real quick, here's how I see this match going. I see it either going one of two ways. I see Goldust and Stardust retaining the tag team titles, or I see this happening. I see the Miz and Damien Sandow winning. I see that winning because Miz is a heel. Damien Sandow is a fan favorite. They're liking him because they like the gimmick. They like Damien Sandow imitating everything the Miz is doing. So I could see them giving them the title and kind of being like a fight for spotlight type of thing. Like the Miz will come out with the belt, and then Damien Sandow will come above him and try to outshadow the Miz, and Miz doesn't like that, and that being the whole gimmick. And like I said in the previous video before, I see them, that's how they're eventually getting out of Damien Sandow's gimmick of imitating the Miz, is eventually the Miz turning on him, and this will be giving Damien Sandow something to do, because I've said it before in another video, Damien Sandow's always been a great wrestler, but with a bad gimmick, and this is, I think, is the start of this, is by giving them the tag team belts. So I see one of the two outcomes. I don't think Los Matadores or the Usos, who's coming off a big tag team title run, I don't see neither one of those options happening. Okay, finally, the last match that is on the WWE webpage for the pay-per-view is a 5-on-5 traditional Divas elimination match. Natalya Neidhart, Alicia Fox, Naomi, Emma versus Paige, Cameron, Summer Rae, and Layla. It doesn't really matter. I mean, do those matches ever matter? I mean, it's just there to see some eye candy, and I know they could all work or whatever, but it really doesn't matter who wins this match. But if I have to just throw a guess out there for a prediction, I'll go ahead and say Paige. I mean, because I'm a little biased come to Paige. I love that little British popcorn, little popper. I don't know. I'm a little biased when it comes down to Paige. So anyways, that's Survivor Series. So that's my prediction preview video. Hopefully you guys liked it. After Survivor Series, I will be doing my review on the pay-per-view, letting you guys know what I think of it. Until then, I'll probably be shooting out maybe 1 or 2 more videos for the rest of the week, different topic videos. Until then, I hope you guys have a good one. Take care.